I would like to welcome you to this 1111 portal meditation. There's going to be a couple of things I'm going to cover before we get down into the actual physical portion of this meditation. I'm going to start by explaining what the 1111 portal is. So, when we talk about a portal, you have an opening throughout the dimensions and the realms. So this gives us closer access to our spiritual beings, to our ancestors, to our divinity. And when the portal opens, it unleashes a strong, powerful energy. What this energy is going to help us do at this time, it's going to help us balance, it's going to help us stand in our power and bring harmony back into the world. As things are a little bit chaotic right now, the world is asking for the collective energy to come back into love. But when we're talking about the ones, the 1111, one is the power number for ascension, growth, downloads, even tapping into your psychic abilities and powers even stronger. You may have felt this happening yesterday and even some today, but what happens through a download and a portal is that information unlocks the activation within you, and you continue to live your life with this new information and living in a certain frequency and vibration. So whenever we're talking about an ascension process, a portal, we are ascending into that next level phase for our growth into our spirituality. Now, if you're not quite on that level of understanding spirituality, just know that as this portal continues, the collective is going to receive the downloads, whether they understand them or not. They're just going to notice that things in their life are going to change. That's why portals are incredibly important. And for those of us who pay attention to the astrological signs and those different things, we notice that the activation can be even higher for us because we're looking out for the changes. We're paying more attention to what's happening on the collective as well as an individual. So when we multiply that number, well, when we add that number, we are adding the ones, and that gives us 4. So 4 is about structure. It is more of your base chakra. It is that foundation, that family, that your 3D representation of who you are. So we're going to be working on how we are identifying ourselves in this world at this time. So 4 is also about building that structure. So anything that has not been solid in your life, or that structure seems to be really rocky and not very strong, just know that those things are meant to fall away. While this can be incredibly uncomfortable for those of us who hang on to things or that feel that we need to, we're being asked to trust at this time to allow those things to fall away, knowing that it is for our greatest and highest good. And if you're also noticing that things are a little uncomfortable now, just know that things get hard when you're about to level up. Right before a portal, right before a huge energy shift, we may notice that things feel very rocky, very inconsistent. And that's where that foundation and that structure needs to collapse so that we can bring that back into balance and harmony. And through that, it's the ability to find our power. So now when we're talking about the universal year of 2020, we're talking about 8. Okay, so it's the 4 of the 1111, and then the 2 and the 2 is 4. So that is about infinity. Okay, infinity is also about balance, power, and harmony. And it's that continual motion. So when we're talking about the infinity, we're talking about the trilogy. We're talking about bringing balance into all areas of your life and all aspects of your life. So this time it's very important. It's very critical for our ascension and our growth. But just know that right now we're really asked to trust our feminine energy, to tap into that divine feminine energy. And something I want to remind you is that masculine and feminine energy resides within us. We have that capability within us. The goal in life is to balance both that masculine and that feminine energy. So even if you are living in a feminine body, you are still required to do the masculine work within as well. And vice versa, same for the masculine. You do have that feminine energy within yourself, and you are asked to balance those out so that you can have that infinite love, that infinite capability of of living your life through that balance of feminine and masculine, but also bringing that love into it and tapping into that feminine energy when you need to. So again, this is a really, really powerful time. And the big message around this one here is love. Okay, because recognizing and realizing that when we love, we are gradually moving into that next level of ascension and growth. Love is the strongest frequency. It's the strongest vibration. So this also unlocks wisdom, that to have that wisdom and that faith to get through all of these different trials, all these different ascensions and growth processes. It can be very overwhelming, but what the message is through this one is just to really stay in that unconditional love so that you can have that wisdom grow to help you through any of this process that could feel very uncomfortable. I want to talk really quick about the collective guidance. What we're getting through this is the big key here is communication. Okay, this is collective guidance, which means the strongest the energy is, that's what we consider and call the collective. We're asked to really start speaking with compassion. Speak to others with compassion, but most of all, speak to ourselves with compassion. Because when things can get a little tough and when we start to notice that we're not being very compassionate to ourselves and compassionate to others, it really does change the vibration and frequency of the world. And right now the collective their tone can be very harsh, and what they're saying to others and what they're saying to themselves can be very, very harsh. So we're being asked to come back into that love frequency, that love energy and vibration. When we're talking about the personal transformation right now, what we specifically or personally can be going through, something to look out for, is knowing that with the ones, we have a new opportunity for a new beginning. We have one is the starting point, and one is also can be reflective of the sun. So anything that may have felt like was kind of in the dark, things that were in the dark, you couldn't quite understand what they were, where they were coming, where they were coming from, knowing that the sun is going to illuminate those things. The sun is there to bring happiness and joy. If you think about being out in the sun, and you think about the warmth, and you think about the power of the sun, all of those things right now are those things that have been unseen are coming up for us in this portal time to bring ourselves back into that happiness and joy and that feeling of abundance. So again, we're talking about the root chakra. That root chakra is that fight or flight energy. And as we activate and we grow in our ascension, we are activating into a whole new level of love. Okay, whether that be in a relationship or that be with yourself, with that, mirroring your divine and feminine energy. It's bringing harmony and balance and bringing that love back into your life. So knowing that part of this personal transformation, of course, always starts with the self. So allowing, yourself to truly love who you are through any challenges that you may be having. It's incredibly important to open up that door to yourself for love. And what that in turn does is it attracts love back to you. And knowing that it comes in all forms, comes in all different ways. So in this time you can open yourself up to abundance. Abundance doesn't always have to be about money, doesn't always have to be about power. It can simply be the abundance of love, joy, and happiness. So that's what the personal transformation is going to help us achieve through this 11 portal. 11 portal. And then as a collective on a whole, the planet is activating. Okay, so right now the energies can be really high. You could feel yourself feeling pulled one direction when you feel like you're going a different direction. Just know that we are all energetic beings and we are all going to have that different polarity in us, because when we're attached to the collective has one strong energy that may not be in balance and harmony with what we're working on for our personal selves. So feeling that off balance feeling is going to be kind of normal. While it doesn't feel good, this is just something to pay attention to. Taking those Epsom salt baths, going for walks, doing what you need to do to detach from the collective. But the collective activation, what we're being asked as a collective, is to take that time out when we need to from negativity. There could be depression happening right now, anxiety, and right now is a time to review and reflect as a collective, as a whole. Where in our lives can we detach from the collective negative energy, and where can we refocus that energy into love and light? Where can we focus it into helping with past pain? Okay, because when we're working on ourselves, when we're healing ourselves, the collective energy, it takes one person to really help heal an ancestral line. So I'm just going to jump into this really quickly. A collective energy doesn't always necessarily mean this current energy. It can come from past energy. It can come from your ancestors. So if love has been an issue in your lineage, not finding that agape love, that true unconditional love, if that is something that has not been able to be fully developed, through this time of these portals, through this time of awakening right now, part of what we're asked to do is to heal that ancestral love. So this could be finding that love for yourself. If in your lineage there's been a lot of depression and a lot of self-loathing, it's our ability to help transmute that energy into that beautiful, beautiful, stronger, powerful love. And then also it helps to heal relationship, any kind of failed relationships in the lineage. So ancestral, we can, in this lifetime, in this activation, we can help clear karmic cycles. We can help clear them on ancestral and personal level. So again, this portal is incredibly important for bringing that balance, that transformation, but mainly just focusing on love, because again, everything goes back to love. So as I get into this meditation, we're going to go on a little journey with our ancestors, and we're going to help clear some old wounds, clear some past pain, and just bring love back into our lives, bring love back into our hearts, and put that energy out into the collective, because we are definitely needing that kind of love to help raise the vibration and the frequency. So again, this is a very, very strong and important portal, and I hope that as you go down this meditation, you can take the time to really reflect on tapping into your own energy, tapping into your own vibration, feeling that love frequency, and just sending it out into the collective. So with that being said, let's get prepared for our meditation. So I want you to get into a comfortable position and relax your body. You can be sitting, lying down. It's up to you. But I want you to follow the sound of my voice as I count down from 13. You don't need to visualize it. You don't need to count with me. You can simply breathe if you would like. So we're going to start with 13. Close your eyes. Feel your eyes getting nice and heavy and relaxing. 12. Releasing any tension and resistance you can find as you scan your body. When you're inhaling and you're exhaling, if you're feeling any tightness, breathing into that, allowing your body to relax even more. 11. 10. Taking in a nice deep breath. 9. 8. 7. Allowing your body to get even heavier and more relaxed. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Now I want you to imagine a screen of your mind. It's almost as though you're sitting in a movie theater, and what you're viewing is this beautiful, beautiful, big, bright screen. It draws you in almost like a moth to a flame. And on that screen, I want you to picture a giant tree, bigger than any tree you have ever seen. This is the World Tree, a gateway between the worlds. I want you to imagine on the screen of your mind that it's a doorway, a portal you can easily pass through. I want you to step through, and I want you to stand before that great tree. I want you to hear the wind as the branches move and shift back and forth. I want you to smell the earth where the roots dig in. I want you to reach your hand out and feel the bark in front of you. As you keep your hands on the bark, hold the intention of finding an ancestor spirit to help you in your part to restore balance to the world. Search in the roots of the tree for an opening. When you find it, step into the opening, which will lead to a tunnel. The tunnel slopes gently downward. I want you to follow that tunnel downward and continue to follow the tunnel as it continues to spiral down. At the end of the tunnel, you see a light flickering like a fire. I want you to walk towards that light. This tunnel ends in a forest clearing. There is a great fire in the middle of the clearing. And around the fire are the spirits of the ancestors. The ancestors are dancing, or they could be simply watching the fire. I want you to wait on the edge of the clearing until one of the ancestors breaks away and comes to join you. This may be a recent ancestor, someone you knew in your life, or it may be someone from a more distant past. It may be an ancestor of blood or an ancestor of spirit. If you do not recognize the ancestor, I want you to introduce yourself. Ask your ancestor guide for any wisdom and guidance about your role in restoring balance to the world. What is your task in these times? What wisdoms from your older time can help you in your work today? You can maybe ask, what else do you need to do in your work in the world? You can ask any questions at this time. You can ask your ancestors what you need to bring into this world to help balance and heal this world. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here, and I want you to imagine having this conversation with your ancestors, opening up your mind to the answers and the guidance. If you find it difficult to do this, I just really want you to open your heart vibration and send it out into the world. I'm going to give you some time here to do that. For those of you who have not been able to find your ancestor or guide at this time, I want you to visualize that fire, possibly sitting there on the side in the sand, watching the flames dance across. Maybe ask what your higher wisdom has to say to you at this time. How can you bring love into the world? How can you bring balance into your life? Sometimes our ancestors and our guides like to give us a little gift, something that we can remember the conversation with, something that has a symbolic meaning to us, something we can always keep with us close. I want you to ask your ancestor or guide if they have a gift for you, or you can simply ask your higher self. What symbol, what recognition do you need to remember this conversation with yourself? And now I want you to search within yourself to see if you have a gift to offer in return. Now thank your ancestor, your guide, for their help and wisdom. And give thanks to yourself for being open to receive the message. Because now we're going to find that tunnel again, and we're going to enter it. We're going to follow the tunnel until you are once again at the base of the world tree. I want you to hold your hands to the bark of the tree and offer thanks for the facilitating of this journey. Then I want you to step back through the screen of your mind and bring yourself back to this circle. I want you to come back, come back, come back. Come back to this time and this place. And when you're ready, open your eyes.